new abilities to solve all of the puzzles inside of the shrines or the temples and solve other little mini games and puzzles within the game. And most of the time, you'll be going to these little temples and shrines and solving the silly little puzzles, which I find very frustrating and annoying.
Bro doesn't like puzzle games in a fucking Zelda game. You know what? I think I can see why this guy doesn't like the game. He is not the demographic. Just don't play puzzle games. Now I'm gonna get angry at this guy because apparently this is why he hates Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. And Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom is an amazing game. I have done, I think I've hit about 100 hours in the game now. Still not done like the main story yet. Just chilling out. Oh boy.
Hello and welcome back to a new video. So recently I've been playing the brand new The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, and as an avid fan of the Zelda games, I just wanted to make a review of this game so far from my own experience. So
Okay.
because this game is basically a copy and paste clone of Breath of the Wild, a lot of my complaints and criticisms are going to be the same as in my review of Breath of the Wild. I'm still baffled at how a game company can make a sequel to a game and there's barely anything different in the sequel.
Have you heard of FIFA? Call of Duty? No? There's a few games out there. Assassin's Creed. In Pokemon 2nd Gen, you literally just do the first game again. Yeah, I don't. I get where he's coming from slightly. Like, yeah, it is the same overworld, but it's different. It's a sequel. Like,
Same combat mechanics, same cooking mechanics, same annoying climbing and weather climate mechanics. Even the
man, I hate that in every Pokemon game. You just catch the Pokemon. Like, it's just the same mechanic. Assassin's Creed just kill a dude? Why is it not Assassin's Creed where you go to a clinic and help the elderly? What the fuck? They need to change things up. It's fucking. Why does Mario always jump on the Goomba? Come on, Nintendo. You run out of ideas already.
map is basically the same. You've got Hyrule Kingdom, the grasslands, the fields, and then you've got the other territories like Gerudo Valley, the cold, snowy place with the bird-like human people. It's just so disappointing how there's barely anything new about this game. The main new features
They literally. You might touch on this, but they literally added 2 whole new areas. One that is, I think, pretty much the same, if not bigger, than Hyrule. Try not to spoil for people that haven't played this game. Like, what? Dude, this guy's gonna make me mad.
of the game would have to be the special abilities like Ascend, which lets you go upwards through a solid platform that's above you and then re-emerge above it. And
It's the definition.
there's
Yeah.
Fuse, which lets you combine different weapons together, so you can stick a sword onto the end of a spear, or a spear onto the end of a spear, or basically any random objects onto the end of weapons. And there's also this kind of grab mechanic, which is basically the same as the telekinesis magnetic ability in Breath of the Wild, but
you
this
can
time
attach
you can
stuff.
attach
Yeah.
objects to each other and make things like a little makeshift
So completely different.
cart or a makeshift raft. You can also rewind time, so objects that are in motion, swinging from one side to another, can be rewound. So you can rewind the motion so they go back from where they came and then use that to reach areas inside of the temples and solve puzzles. So you'll be using these.
It's kind of like new stuff. It's like the first game, but they added new stuff to it.
new abilities to solve all of the puzzles inside of the shrines or the temples and solve other little mini games and puzzles within the game. And most of the time you'll be going to these little temples and shrines and solving the silly little puzzles, which I find very frustrating and annoying.
Bro doesn't like puzzle games in a fucking Zelda game. You know what? I think I can see why this guy doesn't like the game. He is not the demographic. Just don't play puzzle games. Yo, champ, this is not the one for you, my friend. What the fuck?
To have to solve. They're not really difficult, but you do have to think a little bit to figure out how to solve the puzzle. And the annoying thing is, I found the puzzles to be basically the same as the kind of puzzles we expected and found in Breath of the Wild, such as you have to move a massive metal ball and then get it over to one side of this platform, and then use your abilities and magic stuff to manipulate objects so you can get the ball over to where the hole is and then open the gate. I don't really enjoy solving these puzzles.
That's not how, like, he's basically saying there's a start and an end to every puzzle. There's like the beginning and the finish line. And every puzzle has a beginning and a finish line. He's completely subtracted the fact that everything in this segment, like between the beginning and the end, everything here is completely different. And the puzzle is what makes getting the ball from the start to the end fun. There's no rest because he's recording his Switch, yeah. To be fair, it's... Actually, no, he could, if he's playing docked, he could record it pretty easily. But it's fine. It's just like a video from like 2010. But yeah, it's the whole point of the puzzles is working out how you get to that finish.
Having to do the temples, but you kind of have to because it unlocks a quick travel point, a teleportation point, and also you get a little thing.
It's Zelda! You know, the whole point is to do the temples. God damn it. And they're not even the full temples. These are just like 1 or 2 puzzles. Just like 50 of them.
Which enables you to increase the number of hearts you have. So they're pretty important places that you can't really get away without solving or going into. As you might remember from the other Zelda game on Switch, Breath of the Wild, the climate and temperature things have made a return in this game too, and they're still really annoying. So you've got to the north, the very cold area, to the south, you've got a very hot area, and you kind of need to prepare clothing and food so you can survive in these extreme temperatures. But it's just kind of frustrating because sometimes you get caught out without any of your potions left and you're just constantly dying over and over again.
Why are you constantly dying? If you go to somewhere too hot and you haven't got stuff to stop it being too hot, go somewhere else. What the fuck? Like, how is it? It makes sense. You're in a desert. Deserts are really warm. And then at nighttime, they're really cold. And the game portrays that. I don't go over to, like, Mallorca in a full suit and stand there and get a heat stroke and be like, this game is too hard. I keep having sunstroke. Like, my suit's getting all messy because I keep passing out, dude. Just fucking put some shorts on, man.
And I accidentally went into the cold area early on in the game when I wasn't really fully prepared to be there. And I decided, since I'm here already, basically, by the way, it took me a very long time to get to this area because the map in this game is pretty big and you don't get the horse or the mount or any way to travel very quickly in the beginning of the game. You have to run there. So it took me a very
That's false. Then leave. That's false, dude. like after the tutorial, you can get a horse literally as your next thing to do if you wanted to. Like it's down to you. You see a horse? I'm pretty sure you see a horse as you like finish the tutorial and you get to high roll. Like you just see a horse. Well, I'm gonna take that horse. No horse can live up to Epona. I feel him. I mean, you can get Epona. I mean, I think you can only get Epona if you've got a save file of Breath of the Wild. I don't think you can actually get Epona if you've never played Breath of the Wild in Tears of the Kingdom. Don't hold me to that though. I'm not sure. But yeah, you can get a horse.
A long time to get to the cold place, and I decided that while I'm here, I might as well try to get to where I'm supposed to be getting to. So I get to the top of the mountain where I'm supposed to go, but I've run out of food.
And he's not supposed to be there. It's an open world game. Literally, the bit he's talking about is that he gets given like four regions to go explore, and he's just like, I'm gonna go to the cold mountain. I'm gonna go there, and then he's like, shit, I'm freezing to death. Oh well, this game's bad.
And there's no way I can survive the cold unless I keep making fires and using my weapon as like a torch. But then I run out of flint, I can't make the fire anymore, and I feel like I'm kind of stuck at the top of this mountain, and I keep dying from the cold. And what happens is you die, and then you
You're right. I would love to watch this guy play Elden Ring. Come out of the starting area. I've made my character, and this guy on a horse just keeps killing me. This game is bad.
you press continue and it reloads your last save. But when you reload your last save, it refills your hearts back to 3 out of 4 hearts. So I kept running back down to the base of the mountain and then saving it just before I died, and then respawning, pressing continue, respawning with 3 hearts, and then running back down to the base of the mountain, and then before I die, save it, and then I had to keep doing this over and over again. It was so frustrating. I have no idea why they think that anyone enjoys these climate temperature game mechanics, because it just makes the game so frustrating. You're trying to make progress and do things at your own pace, but then you take one of those meals that you've made that gives you 8 minutes resistance to cold or heat, and then you've got like an 8-minute timer ticking down, which means you can't just slowly explore and do little mini games because your stupid timer thing's clicking down. And if you run out,
it just goes somewhere else. It's supposed to spark something in your lizard brain. You go to somewhere that's too hot or too cold. You go, I can't be here. So you go somewhere else, and then you'll find like, oh, I found this really fleecy snow outfit. Oh, wait a minute. There was that cold place I couldn't explore. I better go back. Like, you just go, oh, I'm dying here. Get bad. Hi, Ty. Hey, Ty. What's up, Ellie? What you gotta say? I'm not cutting the video or anything. I'm gonna literally wait for you to comment. Want my college video done on Breath of the Wild? Is it good? I don't want to be biased, but you better be talking goodness about one of my favorite games. Yeah, I'll watch that. That'd be pretty cool.
Out of food, or you run out of protection, then you start dying from the heat or the cold. It's also really annoying when it starts raining. For example, it started
Man, I hate it when it rains, dude.
raining, and I needed to get up to this camp, which is on a tiny hill. And I could go around the hill and then enter through the entrance, but I wanted to be lazy and climb up the surface of the cliff face and then jump over the wall. But I couldn't do that because it's raining, and every time you try and climb, it just makes you slip down to the bottom. And even though the mountain,
I will actually give him a pass on this. The not being able to climb when it rains is just more of like an annoying gameplay mechanic. I don't see where that would be good. They could still keep the rain. I like the idea of it putting out fires and stuff. But in terms of like making things too sticky to climb, it does kind of just put a wall up that doesn't need to be there. I'll give him this. I don't like how he portrayed it. Just saying, I wanted to be lazy. I could have used the front door, but I wanted to climb through the window.
mountain was so tiny, I could have easily climbed it if it wasn't raining. I had to run around the entire thing to get to the front entrance. It was just so frustrating, these stupid little mechanics. So the combat in the game is basically the same as Breath of the Wild. You've got your
Hmm.
camera targeting system. You can jump backwards, do a sidestep, do a parry, and you've got loads of different weapons. Like you can do one-handed weapon with a shield or a two-handed weapon, and you can
Yep, those
fuse
were fucked
these
up.
weapons with different things. And also you can fuse them with items, which can be quite fun to experiment with different combinations of items. But the combat is kind of boring. You're just going to be spamming the same button over and over.
The guy doesn't like exploring, he doesn't like puzzles, and doesn't like combat. Why is he playing this game? I don't understand. Baby's first Zelda? He'd find an issue with Tetris. I hate stacking the blocks. I don't like stacking the blocks. And you know what I hate more than stacking the blocks is when I finally stack them, they disappear. What's the point?
Again, or you can hold it down to charge up for a more powerful attack. It's still just really frustrating because the weapons, I find that the weapons break really quickly, and I use the weapons maybe for a few fights and then it's broken, then I have to find a new weapon, and it just makes it feel like the excitement of getting a cool new weapon disappears quickly when you realize you're only going to be using this weapon for probably the next 20 minutes because it's just going to break really quickly. It's just
I got really close to the microphone there, like really quickly. Uh, I see a lot of people with this take on like the weapons breaking and how they don't like it. I prefer this. Get closer, yeah. I prefer this in Tears of the Kingdom because you can customize weapons a lot more. Like you can literally put anything onto a weapon. So I kind of get that things break and you should be changing up weapons a lot. In Breath of the Wild is a bit more annoying, but it's still fine. I still liked it. It just makes using weapons a bit more of a, should I use this? Should I not? Should I take this fight or should I avoid it? Makes it more tactical. And if you find like an OP, like awesome weapon, don't use it to fight fucking moblins. Like the standard enemies, you save that shit for something tough. I like you hate degradable weapons in games. It adds a bit of stress, which I actually quite like. It makes it more intense. I think it's fine in Zelda. It was a happy gameplay mechanic for me.
just really bizarre because it's like the game developers of this game made a really cool game that looks nice,
Really cool game, minus the exploration, minus the combat, minus the puzzles is pretty cool. I like Link's hair.
plays well. It is quite fun for most of the time. But then they had a meeting, sat around a table, and they all discussed how can we make this game as annoying as possible for the player. I know, let's add this cold.
Let's make an awesome Zelda game. People are gonna love it. We're gonna spend 6 years making it. It's gonna be dope. We're gonna make millions. And Miyamoto runs in. He's like, whoa, let's fucking make this annoying. Let's go.
Temperature and hot temperature, and let's make everything break as soon as you use it. I don't know why they seem to hate us players or us gamers who play their game,
Yeah, fuck
but
you,
it's like they
Nintendo.
made the game to kind of spit in our face. I swear, 80% of the time when I'm playing this, I just feel annoyed and frustrated. So it's been a very long time since I last played Breath of the Wild, and I don't really remember exactly what that game was like, but I have a fuzzy memory.
It's kind of like Tears of the Kingdom.
And I swear, this game is really nothing different or new compared to Breath of the Wild, apart from a few new extra abilities. It just seems like this is more like DLC or an add on instead of a sequel. I am still enjoying the game and I feel kind of hooked, so I guess the magic of the Breath of the Wild game still exists.
I hate this game. I hate the puzzles. I hate every the weather. Weather's terrible, man. It's too hot. It's too cold. The rain is too wet. Everything fucking breaks. I'm enjoying this game though. It's pretty good. I'm hooked. I can see the magic of this game. What's up, Jimmy? Dude, I feel like I'm on a roller coaster with this guy.
in this game too, but it would have been nice if they made a drastic or a very obvious change from the last game instead of just making a copy and paste clone of the last game. As of right now, I think I'd have to give it a 6.2 out of 10. And for this price point, I don't know if I can recommend the game. Maybe later, if ever it goes on sale, it could be a good purchase. But you know what Switch games are like? They very rarely go on sale, especially if it's like one of the AAA Switch games.
Are we watching him solve the puzzle?
Right, you lot.
Oh, fuck you, dude. I'm not watching your video again.
Hello and welcome back.
Point 2, I want to see your criteria. That was a video. Jesus Christ. I feel like this guy is just kind of jumping on bandwagons here. He's just saying like the game is an L because of all these points that everyone else or like other communities have said. Like I hear about the breaking of weapons, different people. I hear about the slippery when wet stuff. I don't think I've ever heard someone complain about puzzles in a Zelda game. Like the puzzles are the best part of this game. Expecting a bad name for mods, yeah, 100%. Step it up, man. Make an alley look bad. I think Marlon's a better mod, and he's never here. Dear Lord. Let's see what some people are saying. I'm an old school Nintendo. I'm an old school Nintendo. Okay, good for you, bro. The first one trying to figure something out. Wait, the first one trying to figure something out for weeks, spending hours timing that first jump. We had never seen anything like it. We are talking 39 years ago. Like it's, bro. I don't understand what you're saying. Enjoy the Sky Island, beat a temple in the sky, go into the depths with no flowers that glow. Terrifying, especially when I like having to work. Dude, this comment is confusing as fuck. I agree with most of what you said. Honestly, though, I had no expectations coming to Tears of the Kingdom except the hope that they would remove the weather mechanics and weapon durability, both of which have been kept. The gripe about graphics that I've seen are stupid. The graphics are great. Looks fine. It's one of those things I actually really love about the game. Okay. If you create an elemental weapon, then having it equipped protects you from the environment effects. Again, I actually didn't know that. So if you have like a sword that has electric on it, you won't get struck by lightning. It's dropping some sweet knowledge here. Weapons can be repaired for a limited extent by fusing. There are a lot of changes you completely missed. 100%. It's a skill issue. I think the game is good. I'm sorry to have to tell you this, but it's kind of the whole point that you have to do things in games. Wait, is this the same guy? No. I'm sorry to have to tell you this, but those things they make you do are lame and boring. Cooking, seriously? He hates everything. Was it a 6.2? This man doesn't like solving games. It's a Zelda game. Let's go, Coleman. Big, big chungus, big chungus.